Yeah, yeah, I love the troll pickup. The only thing that is a problem for troll is the Guardian Angel. Stops a lot of his damage, but...
remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And it's his pick. All right, so you can't. I was excited.
NIP's turn to pick.
Following the...
Choose
Oh.
your hero.
Why are you last picking it? I mean, that is one of the Hawkson's heroes back when you always used... What? Yeah, I think that's actually a very good point you make. The lifestealer might see it. Played lifestealer. It's not the worst.
Yeah, usually you see like the Desolator just go for high physical damage. I mean, I think, you know, it's 10th pick Dusa, you're gonna have to adapt your build a bit, but you don't want to just like build bad items on your hero.
I don't know, I find the Desolator to be not so impactful as lifestealer. Doesn't do much with your... Or combined with Feast, and now it's like, okay. That's really it. Find attack modifiers to be better. It's a tough... I think NMP won the draft by a lot, to be honest. They haven't really dealt with Void Spirit either. We have seen the Void versus Ember lane is very tough for an Ember.
It certainly can be. I do like the Bane against both that and the Void Spirit to some extent, but again, it just seems a little bit weird to last pick your 5. And especially if it's a hero like a Bane who you could just first phase. It's like, it's just a Bane. You don't care whether they counter this at all.
There might be something special in store, but we'll only find this out after the small break.
That was lame.
Done. Game starts, we also have some nice little banter between them. Hester Joe, WTF. Peter, WTF. Therefore, friendship was born.
I'm curious to see how Dahak plays Dusa. Miracle has been rushing Divine Rapier on it.
I agree. I really want to see the Dahak Dusa. Because it is what, like I said, it's really his insignia hero. So back in the days, it was all he played, which was actually relevant hero. So I want to see how he proposes this. I still think Dusas are very weak hero in general.
Why, thank you.
This is going to be such an easy game for him, though.
No, I agree. It's a good pick. I'm just saying, I don't like the hero, but like, yeah, I think it's the time to use it.
The battle begins.
They'll probably be able to defend this, I think. They just have the Mystics go hesitant for level 1 purification, though.
He is in trouble.
Gives PPD. Yeah, it gives PPD the option to just go for Sticky Napalm. Heste allows PPD to get that first blood, and the Sticky Napalm continues to stack against DNZ as well. And the second Mystic Snake Hammer does slow slightly. Sticky Napalm 4 stacks. There's the 5th going in. And it's still that rune. They're not going to force that TP back to base from DNZ, so that's a win, really. Huge win for them.
Wow, yeah, that is a very questionable skilling of purification. I feel like you've just absolutely ruined your lane if you're Hesta Joe. How do you lane against Spat Rider now?
I agree.
Hope for the best. Hope you get level 2 as quickly as possible, but you're gonna need somebody to maybe pull the lane or just shove it into Deuce's face and try and side pull, because you actually can't approach the creeps right now.
Why would you? Even that engagement was bad, so it wasn't for like a level 1 win either.
I feel like it's just kind of one of those things where you almost like panic skill because you're trying to fight. And
Oh, you think he might have missed?
no, I think that he wanted to pick it because he was taking a bunch of damage. It was kind of like an autopilot decision. Oh no, I'm taking damage. I want to fight them for this rune. I'm going to skill purification. And then he's like, oh, shit. Sticky napalm's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah, that's a good point to be made. PvT's not going to stay in this lane forever until bottom. It's actually close to the mid lane. Lelis got cut out. I think he was trying to.
Yeah, he was trying to pull the lane. Bane chasing him down. Bane, one of the better heroes at stopping offlaners from doing this with the sleep.
Yeah, the Nightmare is a good way to stop the Dark Sphere. Kind of annoying. Bane has a fair amount of attack damage, so it hurts quite a lot. Has the power of the last pick Bane, mate. Gotta respect that. He never expected.
Sure.
There's nothing to set up to, by the way. Nothing to set up to on the Bane. Oh no, there's
a cookie, I guess.
I mean, you do have the Mortimer's Kiss, to be honest, right? You Nightmare someone and you Mortimer's Kiss around him, and that's a fair amount of damage.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'm still questioning this last pick Bane. Doesn't seem like necessarily what you're looking for to solve all your problems.
I like this dynamic we got going on. I'm the silver lining guy, and you are the. Why did they last pick a Razor? Why did they first pick a Razor? Why did they last pick a Bait?
I'm just trying to be realistic, man. If I see something that looks pretty questionable, I'm going to call it questionable. And sometimes I'm wrong, but you know.
I like the confidence. That's the way to do it. We need more people like you, Don. So Zuya denies that creep there, so that's one small loss by Lelo. But still pretty nice creep. And unfortunately, Bane cannot really last it, unlike other melee, maybe come into the lane. That's not the jump.
NFP has gotten this lane pretty messed up at this point. Universe might go down here. Gonna go for the TP out.
Makes it. There was no Nightmare, so. And that's the combination, right? What is Bane Lifestealer supposed to do? Nothing. They really are not a good combination.
Yeah, it's pretty weird too, because you usually put Bane with a weak laning hero, but Lifestealer's hero is like, please leave me alone. I don't need any help. So it is a very strange. You know, the Nightmare's annoying for Darkseer, but even this, do they really have kill potential? No, they have one stun.
That's the thing, right? Usually you pick Bane as a setup in the Nightmare, but they're seeing something that clearly we're not seeing. Maybe Suzuya does, because Suzuya's new to the team, so I can't really say if that's a hero he's comfortable with. They have so many competitive stats on him. It might be that. It might be a comfort pick. Maybe that's the way. I don't know. The Fiend's Grip is certainly going to be useful against Dusa, though, because that's the over the mana. Oh no, Excalibur. He just took a whole boatload of damage for no reason other than they walked the wrong way. Tanner's showing you, but Suzuya's here. That's double damage Bane with Nightmare. Look at that go! The combo of the cookies a reality! And they don't quite kill Umber there, but it was a good attempt.
Hey, as long as you're making the best with what you got, I'll take it. I like that. Nightmare and the cookie setup. It's unconventional, but effective.
Blessings.
Yeah, it's going to become conventional now when the Cookie Grammar gets played every single game. Right, so I don't mind this. I like to see the Bane. I think this is one of the sleeper heroes in the meta. In a better draft, to be honest, with more combos. But yeah, I like to see this hero in draft.
You like Bane?
Dude,
you're a disgusting individual.
Is that a weird thing to say?
Yeah. Who likes playing Bane?
My favorite heroes to play are Bane, Venomancer,
Viper, Techies.
No, actually. Wow, you're really painting me as a worse individual than
Anti-Mage.
I do love Sniper.
Jungle Legion
Commander. Sniper with Aghanim's. And I'm not even kidding you. You can watch my games. I have a 70% win rate with that build.
Alright, well, I hope you enjoy casting the rest of this qualifier by yourself.
I understand that.
I feel like I need to go take a shower right now.
The joy of being a bit annoyed here by the Hawk. He is going to be maxing Purification, so Heavenly Grace just as a way to take away that sticky napalm. That Dusa though, oof, I did not consider how strong Dusa is. Dumb in lane. Mystic Snake just tears right through him.
Yeah, not a hero with a big mana pool either, so one Mystic Snake and then you essentially have no spells left.
Well, that's not how it works anymore. It just gives you mana, but it's just...
Oh my god, I'm such a scrub. You're right.
It's okay. You have the Venom Picker here to teach you how to play Dusa. But it still does a lot of damage, and sometimes the Omnite opts. Like I can imagine his the Joy. Look, he's just going for full regen. You could have opted for also a Heavenly Grace build to tank this a bit better. But I do find Purification build in general to be better.
Excalibur, is he gonna get aggressive here?
Excalibur. How did he evade that? So that was just exactly on point as he got hit by the Aether Remnant, it seemed. Interesting. A small microsecond of time. DNZ. Next target. Sticky Napalm starts to stack against him. PPD. One last stack of Sticky Napalm. Shoot to the trick. Oh, they're gonna give the kill to the Hawk. Well played, PPD. A true support. Never takes the kill. And the Hawk even helps him out as a present.
PPD's having a great lane. Look how much farm he has. He's got 5 last hits. What a beast.
Honestly, PPD's playing really good. I love watching his battle. It's not one of the heroes that come to mind when I think of PPD, but he has been playing really good battle.
Yeah, I mean, if it's in the meta and it's a lane dominator, might as well pick it up.
Universe trying to kill on Suzuya. They just lost to Darkseer here. But do manage to murder the Bane, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. Still a loss for NIP.
I am.
Yeah, 2 supports being pulled to their tier 3s, however, so lots of space. Although Tanner has been getting bullied by the Ember Spirit quite a bit. Excalibur is playing the mid lane quite well. Ball denies.
Yeah. It's very different to the game that we watched where it was Thompson play. And I'm just starting to think that it's not so much that the Void beats Thompson beats them.
Thompson beats everybody. So this is what
Thompson beats everybody. Yeah. I can no longer analyze matchups based on Thompson wins. Alright, now Tanner, he does find Excalibur. There we go. Okay, that is a good Aether Remnant. But unfortunately, it's just one single Aether Remnant. And Excalibur with a max Sleight of Fist, man, it's tough for Tanner. That's a lot of constant harassment.
Yeah, Ember Spirit trying to prove that he is the better of the spirits in this game.
We'll see if it turns out to be true, because this mid-game still hasn't started. We're going to see on Void this time.
On Void Spirit, I think...
Kills?
Yeah, probably. You know, dispelling the chains. Although, other than the chains, there isn't a whole lot to catch you, so I feel like you probably could be pretty aggressive. The only real issue is Bane with grip, but if you can avoid that, there isn't a whole lot of kill potential on the Void Spirit. So maybe you just go a bit more greedy.
Honestly, I don't mind the Yols as the setups and canceling the Fiend top. Don't have Fiend script. We don't have String Chains either, but the Hawk might not be able to withstand this damage regardless. I'm gonna chase him back. The Hawk survives this thanks to the Mana Shield as well. Help from the Rubik. There's a TP immediately. The Hawk in their faces. Will he make it? No! His corpse gets TP'd, but unfortunately it's a dead snake.
I wonder if he just keeps running whether he lives there. TP was
Think he would have made it?
fairly ambitious with 4 heroes chasing you, but
Curious as well as to usually you TP once you get to the high ground or you try to TP as you get to like a place where you have, you know, the enemy doesn't have vision. You just TP'd in the middle in the open. I guess as a Deucer you don't have many options though.
yeah.
Really slow. Like look at this, 326, that's with boots.
Is under attack.
Heroes are faster naturally than you are with
Dire's
boots.
structures are fortified.
Yeah, she's a fake lady. It's okay.
I do appreciate how honest Tanner dropping your items there. I do appreciate how realistic it is. It does slither, so it does. Where do the boots even? Goes on Tanner. Does seem to be the item he's running a hole for. Caliber the target. I don't think they can really kill him. Oh, Tanner's gonna try though. Aether Remnant in 3 seconds. So yeah, you can chase after him. There's the Aether Remnant. We're gonna set it up. Oh, he misses.
Dire's middle tower.
Doesn't quite guess that Ember Spirit is gonna go away. Suzuya starts a nightmare. Tanner playing with those magical cups like freaked hustler. Gets away from this Bane's nightmare.
Nice. I like that visual. That's very true. I do want to say, quietly, Zitrax is having a wonderful lifestealer performance. He's 5,200 net worth at 10 minutes, moving to the mid lane to pressure this tower.
Whoa. That's very good network.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Sad.
So, has he just been solo farming this whole time? Is that the idea?
Yeah, he's leaning against the Darkseer, you know? It's one of the biggest downsides of picking a Darkseer. You know how that hero used to just crush lanes, but people were like, wait, we could just put a hero that doesn't care about Ion Shell, and then we just get a free lane.
That's, they're gonna find Darks here. Okay, Lelis. There's the Mortimer skins as well. Lelis does get stuck. They burned to death. They do get a counter kill in the backline. DNZ does go down to Huck. Look at me, he says, but nobody chooses to do so. As a wasted ultimate, just forced to, actually not really wasted. He forces the enemy team away so they can get the kill on the Omnic.
Yeah, and it does now give you a 50% speed boost, so it's kind of more of a like positioning skill in fights. It's very hard to get people to look at you anyway, so at the very least it lets you gap close and make sure you're in the right position. And ultimately, good defense from NIP. They don't want to lose this mid tower, especially after Singularity dedicated so many resources to try and take it.
Yep, that was it was a pretty good defense, honestly, by NIP. They're rotating the Dusa early. We're seeing the Huck being surprisingly active on a hero that's usually known for being very passive early. Commend for. I think this is how you really do play Dusa. Take advantage of the Mystic Snake early as much as you can before you fall off and need to just...
Yeah, and he wanted to rotate towards the triangle anyway, because that's where the ancient camp is. Obviously one of Dusa's most important places to farm, so keeping in the mid lane to defend and then transitioning into the triangle is exactly what the Hawk wants to be doing right now. He's going to go for the Manta first.
Tanner gets blown up there by Suzuya. That was...
No grip committed either.
Nah, he was f***ing around. He had a haste rune, got a bit cocky, and the damage was a bit too much. It happens. I can see that, you know. Whatever, Tanner. You're trying to create space for your Dusa. You got killed a bit close to your tower, and Singularity easily turns this into an objective.
Take a quick look at the items.
Surge on the Darks here. Sorry, Surge on the Batrider. They have a lasso. Second Surge is available in 5 seconds. Fortunately, that Surge is maxed yet, so... Could have been a kill. That's it. That's it. No attempt. No further attempt. Just keep defending this middle tower. Don't let them take it. This middle tower is what defends you from the triangle. Or what defends your triangle, rather.
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
Will be a deny
not that
mid
important.
tower. Kind of interesting. Salber is going for a Chrysalis right off the bat, so he's on board now. Chrysalis gaming is the way to build every hero. Just too much damage coming out. I'm actually surprised that we don't see somebody like almost even a lifestealer building Chrysalis. I know Maelstrom's obviously very good for farming, but you have attack speed, and Chrysalis is a lot of damage.
Tanner was doing that. Playing with lifestealer there. Certainly wasting his time. Yeah, he is. He's baiting for this. He's actually going to be able to initiate, but look at that Bane! You play a real good Bane. Stop the Nightmare. No initiation. Nothing to do.
Dire's top tower.
What a top level here. They do something initiations, gets away, no problem. They don't take the tower though in the process. And Tanner unfortunately wasted a bit of his time with that bait, but you know, very space creating Void Spirit right now. He's not concentrating on dominating this lane. He's letting Darkseer kind of take that position.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing very 4 protect 1, making sure that Dusa has access to farm at all times, trying to create space, distraction.
Oh, Tanner, try to get away. Tanner, use the fist to finish him off. There we go. And Lifestealer goes inside the creep, so they're not going to kill him either. Singularity just got 2 nice kills. Lelis dying behind just to the Snapfire. PPD the next target. Zibrax is forced back to his rage just to get this kill. Open wounds in 4 seconds. Nightmare annoying them, but is not good enough. And get another kill yet again. That's all Nightmare by Rubik did nothing really this fight. And we're starting to notice what happens when Ember Spray just isn't leading in farm.
The Void Spirit, rather?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
No, not saying Void Spirit.
That's alright. I mean, yeah, I agree. I think that Tanner's spending a little bit too much time just like running around. Doesn't seem to have any impact in these fights other than just as a distraction. And I know Medusa is arguably the strongest late game hero in all of Dota, but you got to get there first, and she is still quite a ways away from having the ability to take over the game. So Singularity, they're going to look to ramp up the pressure here as we have Lifestealer finishing up almost a halberd. They have Hestejo to sit behind him, and how do you kill this Lifestealer at the moment? I don't think it's possible.
Open wounds for Tanner. Does Astral step away? What did this just steal? Open wound. That's not bad actually to steal. There's still rage on Zibrax though, and the Heavenly Grace is available. Not for him. There are better targets than that. And this Lifestealer's looking scary. You know, we said the Medusa wouldn't be uncontested, but if Lifestealer just gets up to a really good start, then don't need to contest this Dusa, really.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this Zitrax has been given a little bit too free of a game. The Void Spirit is a hero that can catch up if he's given a side lane to just kind of push out, but he is pretty susceptible to dying because of how squishy he is with so little farm.
Ooh, Zitrax is so close to getting the battery kill there. PPT is edging very well if you allow me to use that. Because he's just managing to barely get away with his team fights. Get a lot of space from his Void Spirit in his position. He managed to catch his Excalibur on the top lane because of this. He's been slowed down. We have another Astral Step. They don't need it, apparently. Oh, he's playing with them. Here comes the pain. Actually gets the Fiend's Grip wrong, but it doesn't matter because they killed Excalibur here, and now Suzuya, because of this, he's going to pay for it. No, he's not. They're not going to chase after him. They kill Tanner, but in exchange for the Ember, I think Suzuya, I want to say Fiend's Grip the Illusion, right? Or no, he got Tanner with a single tick, and then he died. That's why.
Yeah, so Tanner does die again. They get the Ember Spirit kill, which is really nice, but I would really like to see this Void Spirit getting a little bit of extra experience. He's fallen down to 5th from last in net worth. And
little snap fire, she's a sport.
The Hawk is going for a BKB, recognizing that this game is actually getting a little out of hand. He needs to be able to potentially fight earlier on.
I agree. I mean, I don't think it's so much Tanner's mistakes as much as the role he's been forced to play in it. But they need to start giving him some form soon now. Put him down. Okay, that's a really good Searing Chains and Tanner. I mean, this play. Oh, that's a nice Nightmare save on the Rubik. And with Assimilate. Yes, Tanner plays around with him. They have mech as well on Lenless, which helps him out. Mortimer's Kiss is slowing him down. Surge to help him. Tanner escape to freedom. He makes it out.
He's playing that Thompson roll, but without the damage, basically.
Yep, he really is. Universe, now the target. Searing Chains finishes him off. That's easy for them.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And they accomplished. That was good. Good job, Singularity there. I mean, NIP, sorry. I think this was OG as well. Remember when they were just wasting time for like solid 20 minutes and almost managed to win that game with it?
Uh-oh, the Hawk. Is he going to get found? No, not quite.
DMZ sees him. It's like, oh no! Unfortunately, the cookie's really difficult. Hit in that position. PPD again, wasting a bit of time. He's kind of cutting the lanes here, forcing both Suzuya and Heste Joy to rotate just against him. Where's MHQ? Tanner dying in the top lane. It was a solo against the Snapfire?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I actually don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
Catch it?
He's just playing a little bit too crazy. Like, not respecting the other team at all. You know, this is... You were praising him yesterday for being kind of like a wild player, dropping items, being very stylish, quote unquote. But right now, he's just straight up feeding. And
I love how you managed to flame me and him in the same sentence. That was very good. Congratulations. I agree. He is being a bit overzealous with this Void Spirit, especially with the little farm that he has, right?
Yeah, he is making space. I will give him that much. But again, you got to be able to participate in this game.
That Fiend's Grip was not that great. Look at that vacuum to cancel it. Look at that vacuum to wall replica. They managed to bring that Suzuya, and now the Fiend's Grip is onto the Life Stealer. It's a great steal by the Rubik, and Life Stealer is in trouble. They put him into the high ground, and they kill him. As Singularity takes 2 cores down, plus an extra support to boot, they even find, Heste Joy. Who's hasty now, says Tanner, as he proceeds to destroy Heste Joy. Getting the kill there, and a bit of extra gold, almost finishing the Yule Scepter. That's a huge initiation. Lelis, my boy, really coming through for the team.
It's not about how many team fights you take, it's about where you take them. And if you have a Bat Rider and a Darkseer and you're fighting near a cliff, I would say advantage to that team. So very well played. The Hawk just joining in to kind of clean up. He was going to get a tower in the bottom lane as well. I'm wondering if he is going to finish this BKB or transition into more damage and farming after a fight like that really has equalized the game in terms of net worth.
Now we'll see. I mean, for now, I don't know, he still has the Mithril Hammer Q. Just the Mithril Hammer for now for the Dusa. You don't see any other remnants. It could turn to BKB, but it could turn to a lot of other things. Interesting that he builds a Mithril Hammer.
Tanner?
I think he's... I should always keep my...
Permanently in trouble. a support's worst nightmare.
Isn't that the meme? I knew Tyner from high school. That's the meme that they give this player. It makes sense, right? If you're stuck there. In high school, I didn't learn this thing, so. Nice Yo Scepter there. Finished up finally. It's a bit late, honestly, but it's going to be so useful this game, especially with how you're playing.
Yeah, if you're just trying to play the bait role,
okay.
then Yo Scepter
This is... Ah, look at that! That is a real bait right there. And they even find the Bane with the Ether Remnant. Okay, Tanner. Showing off a bit to simulate. Oh, evades a Scatter Blast. And ensures that Suzuya goes down.
Radiant's
all
middle
right,
tower
well,
is under attack.
he's definitely playing like the offlane role. He's making them go on him, making them waste their spells. And, you know, sometimes that's all you need. The Darkseer is more of a counter-initiator, so it actually is working out okay at this point. Especially now that he has a couple more defensive capabilities.
Yeah. It's working now with a vacuum as well. Excalibur is going to try. Tanner evades the stun from the cookie, but the Ember's still chasing after him, looking for an easier kill onto Universe. Universe is going to be brought down. They do have a fair amount of illusions here, annoying them, but Excalibur's looking for something better, and then fast, there's a Kinder Surprise here, and they're going to break open Lelis like a melon. Singularity taken down 2. Not the biggest kills, but Lelis has been so impactful in these team fights that fighting without him, it's a tall order.
Yeah, just kind of a weird place to take a fight. You know, the Hawk is happily farming away in the bottom lane. You just got a nice little win by baiting them into a bad position, and then you just kind of do it again, but in a worse spot without enough heroes to take a fight. By the way, the Hawk does have the Rapier queued up, so he has BKB, Manta style, now he's going for a Rapier.
Who was it you said that played this build often?
Miracle.
I mean, now the Rapier gives you True Strike right now, so
it certainly does. Very good against Lifestealer, who has gone for the Halberd and has the evasion talent at level 20.
You guys feed script, by the way. They caught a Bat Rider. I don't think they even need As you get the kill, of course you get cliffed. This sucks. There's 2 wards on this cliff as well.
Radiant's
not gonna notice this. He could deward this alley. He's up there. Might as well. Has TP in 7 seconds. Nobody's bothering to help him. This is the support life. If this was your carry, everyone would be scrambling you to just help you somehow.
You'd have DNZ running to give you a cookie, but he's like, it's just a Bane. Fifth pick Bane for us. 10th pick Bane for the game. I don't need to help this guy. Massive
help that he got just from the trap. I mean, that Bane's been kind of successful, but Universe was stealing some good Fiend scripts.
By the way,
the Rubik counter in Bane. Yeah?
The Trax did go for a Chrysalis after all, so.
Oh, interesting.
Everybody.
I like this, you know.
Everybody's building.
I agree with your point. Just stupid strong. For 2150, getting 45 damage, just alone that item is pretty good. And then the crit on top of that. You don't really care they nerfed the crit, really. Was it 15% they nerfed it? It's not that big a deal, honestly.
Like I said, I mean, it's less gold than a Demon Edge, and it gives you more damage raw, plus the crit, so.
And on the Lifestealer as well, as you mentioned, that attack speed is really gonna put it to good use. And you can always turn it as well. I just love the versatility of this item. That's why I always loved Crystallis. You know, Bloodthorn or Daedalus, both good, depending on how the game goes.
Radiant's middle tower is
and he's not itemizing against Dusa at all, by the way. He's just playing his normal Lifestealer game.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how you have to treat a 10th pick Dusa, is that, or a 9th pick Dusa, whatever, is you just try and kill everybody else, and then you deal with the Dusa later. Although, with that new movement speed on Stone Gaze, it makes it a little bit harder to do so. You can't necessarily just, like, take the fight somewhere else. You also have the Surge to deal with.
For Spirit, that's a good steal. I mean, the Rubik has been using this Nightmare more effectively than the Bane at this point. Oh, no. Oh, that was the Firefly, right, that triggered the Nightmare early? No?
I think so.
Because I think the Flame Guard just expired. And then the Firefly triggered. That's unfortunate. These things happen. I weren't expecting that.
Yeah.
Paladin Sword.
It's okay to make mistakes in Dota. Not the biggest deal.
Just need to flame them and check. It's us. Lifestealer getting the Paladin Sword is amazing, by the way. Boosting that healing even further. Probably one of the best items on Lifestealer.
Tower is under attack.
Oh, really no. And nice little over destruction as well for NIP. Which is quite useful for a Void Spirit, actually, because you apply it on everyone, so that's an extra bit of slow after the Astral Step.
Yeah, also quite nice on Dusa. Generally, this hero tends to build Scotty at some point, and so you just have like a built-in Scotty and a Desolator. If you're able to get to that split shot, use modifiers. I almost feel like you just keep that item perpetually.
Dire are scared.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he's using Paladin Sword for now, and I can see the point of that. It's just not the greatest against Dusa, because of course it doesn't regen. For now, Tanner will keep that over destruct. We see a... Is it just saw? Yeah, Mindbreaker for Singularity. I don't know who's care.
Probably flying
Could be on the Ember, actually.
Yeah, flying out to the Ember right now. Definitely. You want it on a gap closer so you can find the supports of the backline who might not have a defensive item yet.
Yep. I like the build on the Ember, by the way. He also went for the Crystallis build that we're talking about. BKB Crystallis. And he's just skipping the mails from this game completely. He's actually going for a bit of a... Oh, that was a nice Searing Chains on the 2. Excalibur try. Whoa, the Vacuum Wall replica countered by the Guardian Angel though, stopping the Hawk's damage. We still have the Stone Beams though. They need to disengage. They use it immediately. They can't see the Rubik though. Excalibur just decimates him. The Hawk looks for further targets. They go for Suzuya, and here comes Tanner from behind. Hoping they get the kill and has to join. They manage to. The Hawk is still fighting against everyone. Suzuya will go down. And then last of a life to control him long enough. PPD will sacrifice his life just to make sure they get the kill on Zidrax. However, there's a vehicle here. Uber's waiting. They try to take him away. And Excalibur will have to die for his carry here. They gave him enough space. Lifestealer managed to get away in a melee creep. Not in the Ember Spade, but there was a bit of a confusion there, which did aid to his escape.
Yeah, it looked like potentially good initiation, but the heroes on both teams were actually very spread out. Zitrax was not anywhere close to that fight at all. He was in the top lane along with Tanner, and Void Spirit is much more quick to getting to fights, getting across the map. So Tanner able to show up, and then of course 2 buybacks from NIP, but both supports being the only ones who had to do so. By the way, Rapier is coming out after these camps are farmed, so the Hawk is about to be extremely difficult to take down and very, very scary to deal with. I would expect them to go immediately into Roche, and that is their timing to end the game.
This is a Divine Rapier with a Paladin Sword as well. It's exciting. This is a good combo of items, to be honest. I'm loving though. I gotta say, just Levis is really outstanding this. He's been playing a fantastic Dark. Pretty much the reason why NIP kind of had the space to get back into this game.
I agree. His walls have been on point. His counter initiation in the team fight has been half the reason that they've survived long enough.
Yep. It's very difficult to counter that because of course Ember's going to cut the team. You're not really concerned about the Ember getting caught there or not. And Zidrax can't really use the Rage to initiate. Do that, then lost the Rage for the rest of the team.
Smoke.
And okay, this could be an interesting double back. PPD trying to catch him behind. They're going to see the Bane. It's just Suzuya in the world against him. From behind, his whole team needs to save him. Dissimulate to try to kill him. They need to kill the Bane, they get him.
They don't know about
gone,
the yet.
and they use the Stone Gaze. They haven't realized the Raper's dead. Now they realize because Excalibur is being disintegrated. Zidrax is going to follow his footsteps and just go straight to the graveyard. As they find us the Joy, and just nothing can stop him. Double damage plus Rapier. Good luck fighting this. They get the last Nightmare. Rupik using it so well. They will find the Snapfire and kill her as well.
Yeah, this is gross. You have the Desolator as well, amplifying the Deuce's spread damage.
And the Over-Destruction.
I do not know if there is anything Singularity can do. This almost is starting to feel like the Earthshaker Morphling Eggs combo, where it's like you hit a timing and it's actually impossible to win the game. So I'm not saying this game is over yet because NIP still has a lot of buildings to go through, but what the heck are you supposed to do against a BKB Manta-style Divine Rapier Aegis Medusa at 29 minutes when you have like damage over time and nothing else?
That should help.
I think this calls to the argument that we had a bit earlier. Draft, right? We're saying, right, how do you fix, or how do you find that balance between itemizing properly and itemizing against a specific hero that you know counters?
Radiant's top
And in this case, Lifestealer decided to itemize as a normal Lifestealer, perhaps Crystallis being the one weird item. And now you're seeing the point that maybe if you had itemized a bit differently, you had a chance to maybe bring Zeus up, but it's definitely impossible right now. Not a criticism, of course. He was doing really well. Just turned out to this point where the Hawk is now going to become kind of unkillable.
Yeah, and I mean, I should probably apologize for flaming Tanner a little bit. I mean, he died a lot while he was making space, but he was making space, and it was all
kept saying it, but
in
you
mind.
don't believe me.
Radiant's bottom tower.
This guy, you know, someone's the crazy rambunctious kid is this ideal kid for you.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Here's a smoke. Singularity, they do
This
not
is a good smoke as well.
Yeah, they don't want the Dusa just sit on the low ground and ping away at their tower, so big wraparound coming, but a counter smoke from NIP.
Oh, that counter smoke sees them. They go Fiend Script on PPD. It's the easiest kill they can muster, but they just cancel the Fiend Script, and PPD's up on the high ground yet again. He just loves this spot. Finally brought down. That is a good Stone Gaze though, stopping that. Not a vacuum on a replica. How do you fight against this? Medusa's been nightmared though, but she can continue fighting. There we go. DNC killed off, and there's nothing you can do. Heaven's Hammer came way too late. 3 heroes already dead. Your Snapfire using her ultimate, so did the Bane. And the Ember's starting to give some space to them, but oh, they're gonna control him. Tanner finally committing fratricide like he wanted to this whole game. Medusa just tears right through the Ember. Nothing could have done against the Hawk there, and this man, this Rapier is working wonders on them. What are you supposed to do, Singularity? He
oh my god, there's like 3-shot him.
Takes you down. Yeah, exactly. 3 shots. Nothing can survive against him. You don't even have time to use the Glimmer Cape. The fade time is too long for this.
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, Rapier Deuce is the truth.
Yep, GG, well played.
It is ridiculous.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
All right. I gotta say, Singularity played a good game. They played a solid game. I disagree slightly with the Bane last pick. Beams aside, I don't think it was the greatest last pick, to be honest. We could see it here. Mainly to me, it's because against the Rubik, it wasn't just the Rubik used Bane better than Bane used Bane.
Yeah, and you just didn't really pick anything to deal with the Dusa. Like, your whole lineup didn't deal with the Dusa, and then you last pick.
Maganda dyan tayo sa tapat ng bahay. Dito, dito. Okay, tara. Nakagum yung pinto pag natin yan. Pasok na. isa pa. Huwag mo matama. Yan, Teng. Dalawa yan. Tapos, yan pa isa dyan, Teng. May isa pa dyan, may isa pa.
Puta na, naglag. Baka mo mo. Naglag ako eh. Sabakay na lang. Naglag ang puta. Oh. Naglag.
Oh, ang dami ko na ito.
Naglag ako eh. Nahulog ako dyan sa mag-drop.
Gulos na ako eh. Kako, gumalaw ko pa doon. Mga kahit sa Facebook. Ilang minutes ka ba?
And 20 seconds.
Huwag ka dito sa akin ah. Tago mo na ako dito.
Kung ano-ano. Stop. Ito, sa likod mo. Ito, mag-drop ako.
Paupo naman ako eh. Diyan.
Sa baba, sa baba.
Sabi ko pa. Ano, isagawa mo ito. Tingnan. Putin yan. Isipin na pa ba?
Wala tayo naman safe zone.
Oo, ito. Isipin na pa ba? Ako. Dito na tayo. Dito na tayo. Pag kumakain sa loob ng safe zone. Tago lang tayo sa bato. Tara.
Tama. Kita tayo ulit. Sa likod.
Buti na. Papasita tayo eh. Dito na tayo. Dito na tayo. Kabilaan tayo. Tago na ba?
Tayo na tayo.
Tago na babalik sa atin. Ito. Nasa gilid. Tara, pas tayo dito. Lima na lang yan, Tek. Tapos na kalaban natin. Ikaw muna paano, padili ka muna, Tek. Dino. Tek, ito, makasulubong natin, tara. Patay natin to.
Sa likod, sa likod, sa likod.
Peso mo muna dito, Tek.
Sa likod, di ba? Patay na.
Wala, yun.
Sabi sa'yo sa likod eh.
Hindi nga ito, hindi may atas eh.
Ah, ganun eh.
Radiant team pick. Seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. NIP's turn to pick.
Oracle.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. NIP's turn to battle.
Behold the horn of madness.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Hello guys and welcome back to closed European qualifiers for the ESL LA Major. We have Group B, the third matchup of today. It is between Singularity and Ninjas and Gamas. Both of these teams started this matchup at the bottom of their bracket, but NIP still had a couple games to play. They have one last series later today against Alliance. They still have to finish this one, and they're starting on the right foot. With the first win going the way of NIP, tying the score with Alliance, they are excited at their potential chance to go to the minor qualifier, if not even the major. They do manage to get a 2-0. We'll see what happens. Your caster for today will be myself, the Swordfish, and joining me, the one, the only, the Alchemy Elevated. That is an intro. That really? This is why we're called unprofessional.
Turn to battle.
Well, I'm just trying to connect with viewers, you know? That's what the Zoomers say, right? They say sup and dude, stuff like that. I'm just
Oh no, I think you have to tweet, like, Snapchat it?
TikTok?
Something? Is that is that on what a clock does?
Radiant team ban.
Are you a boomer secretly? You sound
I
like
don't know
a
what that
boomer right
means.
now.
Okay, Zoomer. Singularity or AP. Draft is ready. What do you think of what we're seeing?
I'm a huge fan of Nyx Assassin right now. I thought that the hero was probably slightly underrated just because of how
10 seconds
like
remaining.
ever since they reduced the number of sentries that you could buy, Invis heroes have gotten this big boost, and especially with all these mobility based heroes with AoE damage, Nyx Assassin, you know, he's extremely good against those. He's good against Ember, he's good against Void, he's good against Snapfire, he's good against all of these heroes, and then the built-in break mechanic is something that you can't overlook. If you look at the up a lot, and it's winning a lot, and that is especially because I think that this hero is pretty good against both Void Spirit and Oracle in the long run.
Radiant team pick.
That is a very good point you make about it. I do love Nyx against Void. When the first hero came out, I always suggest people just pick Nyx. Seriously, it destroys him. Mana Burn is nice against Void Spirit, but the Spike Carpus is really the cherry on top. Any of his spells any of his escapes deal damage.
Yep.
Just something that Nyx can take advantage of. So I love this. I especially love, I've seen this a lot when in competitive, when you have the Nyx versus Void Spirit, that you see a Void Spirit leave, a Remnant, because of course, he's trapping someone, trying to get the position, and Nyx just rushes towards it to get stunned, to get the Spike Carpus off, and then Void Spirit stunned for that. Very good. I even see Nyx maxing Spike Carpus against Void.
NIP.
Oh, for sure. He's like, witness me! Charges in. And that's actually kind of an interesting pick. Mars, he gets countered by Nyx Assassin. That's a lot of spread damage. You have the break to destroy Bulwark. Obviously a very good hero, but I would say that it's still not wonderful against Nyx. It is a hero that puts a lot of up-tempo pressure. It's a good team fighter, which is something they definitely need. It helps counter the Magnus to some extent, counter some of his mobility with the Arena of Blood. But again, I still think that the Nyx Assassin does pretty well against Mars.
Yeah, I agree as well. A lot of ways that you could go with him. The Arena of Blood doesn't stop the Impale either, right? Really useful, having a stun that can actually pierce through that, because it's not a projectile technically. So, I like the pick of Nyx against Mars in general. I don't love Singularity draft too much. And they don't have a Troll with the Oracle either, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, it's a good ban.
We'll see what they combine it with. Maybe it's a Dark Willow pick as well with the Mars. Just such a strong combo.
Yeah, but also another hero that's not very good against Nyx. Nyx was like the original counter to Dark Willow when that hero was first.
Yeah, it's true to everyone. To a lot of people though, like Nyx, any of the new heroes gonna get countered by Nyx. Lots of the old ones. Any kind of cheesy hero, Nyx is there to save your day. He's fantastic.
All right, hear me out. Singularity just needs to pick OD and Dark Willow, and then they'll have an entire team that is not good against Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, I mean, they might not win, but at least they're
Exactly.
Radiant team.
I don't think OD's that bad against Nyx, but now that he's still intelligent.
Ooh, Crystal Maiden.
That's a PvD special, huh?
Yeah, it's a great support hero that has fallen pretty heavily out of the meta after a series of nerfs. Was one of, oh my god, is that a Dark Willow?
Told you.
What is happening right now?
Then immediately the Phantom.
Honestly, it looks like a reasonably good OD game, if not for the Nyx Assassin, so... Singularity, don't make me do it.
I hope they get... Honestly, now it's kind of becoming... I told you the Dark Willow was a good pick. Honestly, the combo is strong with Mars. I know you get countered by Nyx, but it's a good combo with Mars.
Yep. But
you do need a way to deal with the Phantom Land.
Yeah, you also get a bit countered by Phantom Lancer too, because you can just dispel the Cursed Crown. So, and you tend to build Manta, so you can counter the Root as well. I wanted to go back to the Crystal Maiden real quick. One of the big things that Magnus struggles with as a hero is mana and mana management, and that is always going to be Crystal Maiden's biggest asset, is just the aura. Like, even if you nerf all the other skills, which they have, even if you nerf the move speed, which they have, you still have the aura, and it's still really, really good.
Agree. And Nyx is also a hero that benefits a lot from it, especially pre-arcane boots. Fantastic. To be able to actually do something in lane and harass with your Impale. It's really good. It helps you win all your lanes, honestly. She's a strong laner as well. And I find it's a good response to the Mars, because her attack or harassment in lane comes purely from the crystal, as opposed to your auto attacks. So the bulwark is not as relevant.
Yep, I agree, and I think that it also has just a nice little extra boost with the Magnus RP. Like, it's not often that you get to just stand there and use your ultimate, but Freezing Field is insane. That's like one of the only skills that I haven't really nerfed, and it does way too much damage. It's kind of like Snapfire, where it's like you use it in a fight and you don't get it canceled, and you're like, oh my god, I'm carrying this fight right now.
It really is. But this time you have a couple things to cancel. Ether Remnant, Beer as well if you get it. It's not.
5 seconds remaining.
It's not the hardest team fight. Usually I like Crystal Maiden, this Freezing Field. If you're up against, like, for example, Lifestealer really struggles against this. Any heroes that don't have stuns, that only deal damage, you just can't kill it. Legion Commander. Classic Lelis pick. Really solid pickup as well. Nice against Void Spirit, some reliable catch, and benefits a lot from Crystal Maiden if you go for the 3-1-1 build.
Definitely. It gives them hard lockdown, and it also gives them a Dispel, which is a further save for the Phantom Lancer. Sven, solid.
Got your wish, man. Nyx does also kind of.
It's an okay Sven game. They needed something to.
No, it's a good Sven game. Don't get me wrong. I think it was the pick from the start once you see. Like Carpus to hail, right? Lose half your god strength, and the mana burns with.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the easiest Sven game I've ever seen. Like, even Legion is reasonably good against the Sven in lane, just because Sven has fairly low armor, thanks to Warcry giving him armor. They always, you know, if you have an ability that gives you armor, they're going to take some away so you're not overpowered. And so Sven does have to deal with just constant harass from the Legion Commander.
Yeah, it's true. It's a tough Sven game to play. The good sides, of course, being that he does really well against Phantom Lancer, of course. He does well against the Mac generally because of the armor. Now that Cleave does actually not ignore armor. And he's, like I mentioned earlier, carry with a stun. So you have a way to stop the Freezing Field. A stun, so you're not actually wasting a single target stun against a Crystal.
Yeah, you also have the Arena Blood to hold people in place so you can run in and cleave away. So there's definitely a lot of lockdown to help the Sven have a good game. It's just a matter of whether he's going to be able to have enough time to farm.
Well, we'll see how this game turns out for them. It's a tough game for Singularity for sure, because NIPs seems to be proposing first. They seem to guys who in the lanes and the early mid game should be there. How that turns out, but after the break.
Prepare for battle.
No. Just
Done.
no.
Talentless. What did you
There we go.
expect?
Absolutely done. So SNG versus NIP. We're getting ready for the game. Tell me, Alchemy, what draft are you leaning towards?
What draft am I leaning towards? I think the NIP draft. I mean, I was definitely being a little bit harsh about how everybody's countered by the Nyx Assassin, but it is kind of true. I feel like Universe is going to be able to do a ton in this game, and I think the team fight probably slightly favors NIP just because.
That is Nova now. Second soon. Oh, that's a very good Spirit Mars, but I think he's still done. Spirit Lance and Hest is gone. Especially after he was bantering with PPD, so that's great. I don't know if you guys saw that, but so many shards as PPD tweeted. And even though he lost, he got up-clicked a lot, so, you know, a lot of shards. And then he responds with, winning lost games feels better. Of course, PPD has the best banter. Not engage in a word battle with this guy.
I just kind of feel like this is going to be one of those games where Sven feels like he needs one more item before he's ready for like the entire game. I could be wrong, but anytime you're a hero that needs to build BKB, which he does, and you're facing BKB producing disable in two forms, it doesn't feel that great.
You're right. Gonna be a tough one. Of course, duel, it's not ideal, right, against the Sven. They stop him, but it is always an option if they're going to carry. And you can always break that cleave, by the way, which actually matters a lot against the PL sometimes. You're going in, you vendetta him, cleave is gone, God Strength is kind of useless for a bit, and the Phantom Lancer can just swarm you with illusions. By the time you get cleave back, your mana's gone.
Yep. Definitely. Lelis is able to get the pull off here in the bottom lane. He's gonna run it around. Suzuya will root him up, but that means that Lelis will happily just drag the creeps to the second wave and then probably TP home, or just... Oh, he is. He's gonna have them meet up and then even just run them back.
watching this pull. They're getting a kill up top against PP. No surprise though. It's honest. Yeah, he's gonna pull them back himself. Okay.
I actually like this move by Suzuya because he realizes that there's no way that he's going to be able to stop this pull from happening. So instead of standing around and kind of wasting his time, he's going to go top and get aggressive where they have kill potential with his root.
That's very true. The Mars Dark Will is a very offensive lane, so combine that.
Yep. This is something that every support should take note of, is if even in the first minute or two of the game, if you feel like you could be more effective somewhere else and your carry is not going to immediately lose the lane, which Zitrex is fine. He's just going to pull the waves to camps and then cleave them. Go somewhere else.
Oh, PPT caught Crystal Nova. They push her back, and this is gonna happen. You have an offensive lane. They're going to kill whatever's easiest, and the Crystal Maiden is just.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Tanner is gonna. No, Excalibur. He did have assimilate, but it's a very slow skill to actually use. Oh wait, Resonant Pulse is ready. Tanner has an impulse. Ah, not enough damage. Tanner calculated that better than I did. Good job.
That's why, he learned that in high school. He majored in math.
Major in high school, did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. What a prodigy.
He's a Dota player. He is a prodigy.
Yeah, you're told. In Britain as well, where you major as well. Yeah. Well, I like this. Tanner, for now, gets hard lane matchup. Honestly, I've seen this a couple times where Magnus has a hard time, they're kind of beating.
Ooh, nice.
Unless they do this kind of plays. But yes, it's just that's the issue. Excalibur is just so hard to kill. And usually Magnus likes to have that potential to kill the enemy core. It's just impossible here.
Yeah,
top lane, by the way, they're just running at them.
They are. This is very good by Singularity. Nyx Assassin, Crystal Maiden, definitely not happy to be in a tri-lane at all.
I mean, Crystal Maiden used to be pretty good against tri-lane before they nerfed her movement speed, so Grandma only has one leg, Of course, she's the easy catch. Mars just spears her every single time. You don't even need to actually stun her with a spear of Mars. You just need to put her out of position far enough for you to just one armor. I mean, poor Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here is that you have two melee heroes, both of which are fairly slow. The CM also slow, and then you're against Dark Willow and Oracle, who have like some of the best attack animations in the entire game. So they're just gonna ping you down.
Back in Dota 1, when the BAT of Oracle was discovered, everyone played it with Maelstrom. Times, good times. Nope, that was a missed spear. I've never seen one. Did not quite get the Hawk there, and the Hawk is allowed to get a free last hit, but they are annoying in quite a lot. 17 last hits, the Hawk, compared to the 24 on the Sven. This is exactly what you want. He's just slightly above the PL here.
Yep, Sven is getting a lot of neutral boost though, so that is part of it. He's actually just going to go all the way back.
This time Excalibur has no mana. This could be a kill. Tanner measured this perfectly. This is why you get the major.
Oh, solo kill.
They get the Crystal Maiden again. Loses her hair just before she dies.
This is going to be one of those 12-minute brown boots games for PPD, and he's okay with it because the rest of his heroes they're doing pretty well. Despite all the pressure being put on the PL, the Hawk's still farming. Lelis.
He has no aura though, PP. No, she's not really doing it. Dying, to be honest. Not as a criticism to PPD or Crystal Maiden, of course, but lack of aura makes it so you really don't have an impact, aside from the occasional Crystal Nova Frostbite.
Yeah, he wanted both to fight though, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Probably pick it up next.
Nice evasion there with the doppelganger. There's the Crystal Nova. Look at this. PPD fights back. I'm tired of dying, he says. I am gonna murder your stupid Willow. And PPD does it. Of course, he was helped by two teammates, but it was mainly this P.
Bit of an oversight by Dark Willow there, stepping up a little bit too far. The root setting up for the Impale is pretty strong. And Willow, pretty squishy.
Like this is exactly what happened, yes. Especially after you lose that Shadow Realm, right? You don't have your escape mechanism, so once you lose that, you should try to play much more conservatively with your... Didn't quite happen, got cocky. Mid lane, by the way, we're seeing a rotation here. Just to have some experience, it seems, as Void Spirit rotates to the top lane. Excalibur is ready to get some kills. He might not be going for the crystals build. Still has a fair amount of damage.
Does have an
Here we go.
arcane rune, so the tracks.
He doesn't. It's only 1 point in Etherent, unfortunately, so it's not as strong. He still hits it. It's lucky the doppelganger. Yeah, that's very lucky the doppelganger placement there. Random, nice by Carpus, but it's not going to be enough. Oh no! The Spear of Mars is not long enough. And they will kill the shark. PPD even sacrificing his courage doesn't really matter though as long as the Hawk lives, but he's not going to. Unfortunately, Excalibur manages to punish him here. Suzuya salving up, but in comes PPD with a revenge kill. His auto attacks will do the trick, and Suzuya will at least die. Little counter kill there. And they're gonna go for Tanner here in the mid lane as well. They have no Afro step, but they have to assimilate. Tanner's trying to guess. He guesses wrong.
Has RP though. He could use it defensively if he needs to. He might actually. Here we go.
There's the RP. Yeah, and Legion comes in. The Shampoo, he does. Dark Willow's done. Tanner's barely surviving. No, he's gonna get killed by the creep. But Excalibur will also maybe not. Excalibur, are you going? There we go. Lelis finds him, and Lelis cleans up.
Yeah, I wonder if Lelis was trying to duel the Dark Willow there. I feel like if he duels the Void Spirit, then Tanner's able to escape without actually dying. They probably still get both kills, but the heroes were stacked directly on top of each other, so he kind of just clicked probably as quickly as possible. Got the Willow, gets a couple turn kills, and Lelis is having another really, really good game in the offlane.
I mean, at the end of the day, you killed both of them, and even if Tanner died, Tanner was almost guaranteed to die there anyway. I think you're happy with the dual damage and a really nice play. And Legion is one of those offlaners that does take advantage of the space. But Lelis is really happy with this. Also, Lelis loves this, right? Lelis is the greediest offlaner we've seen in a while. Like, he likes the time he's been given to farm.
Radiant's bottom tower
He's actually the highest level in the game, tied with Tanner in the mid lane. So, definitely a great start for the Legion man. His double brace or phase boots, pretty much unkillable right now. He's going to get a tower to boot.
Is under attack.
Good. Good solo in this tower. And finally gets it.
Radiant's bottom tower.
There we go. Not much contesting there, honestly. And this tower does represent a bit more control over the safe lane, which means Sven won't be able to stack easily, or as easily, rather.
Yeah, this is actually a really big deal. Good thing to mention is that there's only one Ancient cap now, and Sven is obviously one of the heroes that values Ancients more than most. So losing the safe lane tier 1 tower this early on means no access to Ancients for Sven for probably the foreseeable future in this game.
That's a very good point, actually, because you are Radiant, so you grab those Ancients in a discoverable spot. Tanner looking for the kill on Dark Willow. It's very difficult, though. They fate Seek her, and now in come the reinforcements. He can't get away, Tanner. Push back immediately. And this poor Magnus,
he's still alive.
Just get pummeled. I mean, there's 4 heroes on him. He's not going to make out of here. Lelis came in here, but a bit too late. These reinforcements might end up just being extra victim for Excalibur. With level 1 Ether Remnant, yeah, they have the Rebel Mace. They have the Spear of Mars, unfortunately. Lelis playing around with his extra movement speed. It tried to, but Universe stops him. The body block Universe, giving Lelis so much space. He might die, but it is all for Lelis' sake, so it's worthwhile here.
Whoa, the Hawk went 2 bracers. Interesting.
Yeah. I will refer to Legion.
Huh.
Okay, so what is it? To stop the Void Spirit's damage, I suppose, right? This is your main damage dealer early?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it just makes the illusions more tanky in general because you get extra strength. So, a little bit better against the cleave, but kind of weird unless you're planning on fighting.
Okay, RP into the Impale, but this is difficult. Yeah, you just don't have the extra stun, unfortunately. It's only Impale level 2. What is a good attempt, maybe a bit hasty. I couldn't quite calculate the amount of damage to get output there.
PPD. He's getting closer to brown boots. 13 minutes. Is that the moment? Is it gonna be sooner than that?
Oh, but he's alone now, and immediately, look at this. Ziprax is just running right towards him. If anyone else comes, they're gonna kill PPD, but for now, they assume that PPD is definitely not alone here, right? They're like, no support Crystal Mains in the farm there alone, so playing this a bit defensively. PPD, do not show yourself. Do not dare breathe here, because Ziprax will kill you.
Oh,
if you get killed now, you lose boots. There we go, he got it. Oh, he's not gonna bite him though.
They're already flying out, actually.
Really? Oh, okay.
He's rich. Rich as heck.
He's rich. We underestimated him. They try to go here for Excalibur, but the Arena Blood gives him a lot of space, and there's the combo with the Terrorize. Nyx is dead, and so is poor Tanner. Oh, maybe not. Tanner might survive.
So tanky.
He heals with a magic one, and he makes it out of here alive. It's only a single bracer as well. As Lilith comes in, as a duel, but the worst target has the Joy right now. Even with the Empower, there's no way you're bringing that down. Tanner keeps his distance, but stays here in the fight, wants to be relevant. There's not much to fight with here for the Hawk, though. No Diffusal Blade, so you don't really have the damage. Singularity wants to dive this tower. They want to play like OG. Unfortunately, they realize this is not the right play here. Lilith, what are you doing, you madman? Back up. Yeah,
they're kind of just milling around the mid lane. Like to see them take this mid tower so they can break into the enemy side of the map. Meanwhile, Zitrax picked up a Mask of Madness, so he's going to accelerate his farm. The Hawk going for the Yasha into the Manta style, most likely.
Go for the Yasha. Oh, like, if you go for double bracer, I'd expect a Diffusal Blade, to be honest, first. Because it's the faster item.
Yeah.
No?
I'm not totally sure. I don't think that I've seen the double bracer PL very much.
Either. It's hard to know the reasoning exactly when you want once. It could also be a particular thing for this game because you want to last the Void Spirit alone and the Oracle as well. I mean, even Dark Willow can kill you again. Ah, there we go. Diffusal. Okay. All this theorizing for nothing. Thank you, Dahak. That's what I was expecting. It does seem to fit the build and the place.
Yeah, you definitely want to get involved, I think, relatively early on. It's not like the hero is completely relegated to farming, especially when you're playing against a counter like Sven.
Yeah, Sven's starting to really shape up, by the way, now. She is going for the Crystallis, alright?
Of course.
Following in footsteps.
Even just to accelerate the farm, it's really good at cleaving stacks down. Gives him the ability
The
to
build
fight.
now is, with Crystallis, you go straight into the peak.
Yep. Yeah, the Ags is, I would say, pretty much core on the hero now. It sort of gives you an Echo Saber almost because there's the attack when you land. So Echo Saber is definitely becoming an irrelevant item. You have the mono regen talent, so you don't really need to go that. Yeah, and then you just have Mask of Madness for the movement speed and the attack speed.
True. Mask of Madness is also much better helping you farm around, honestly, and you don't need the stats as much anymore. Echo Saber provides. Because Ags also gives you stuff. I agree. It's a good point you make on the. But you can play around with that Stormhammer a lot, though. I've seen, like, just because you can't cancel it, you can play around with that mobility as long as you're here at that mobility too.
Yeah, it makes Sven actually very scary. It's like as soon as they gave Ursa the ability to kind of mini blink, he became much better.
True. Mobility is one of the strongest parts of this game. Often overrated. Like, a simple changes in movement speed often mean much more than damage change.
Yep, I agree.
In the case of Sven, though, I did see when we saw Sven on Sumail, I really liked how NIP dealt with Sven, to be honest, because they played heroes that had, like, they played with Force Staffs and stuff like that, so they made sure not to disjoint that Stormhammer, and they would just force him to Stormhammer so far back that, I mean, they lost the game, right? But that idea was the right one to deal with.
Yeah, they
do that this game too.
They just need to kite out the BKB and let the Hawk kind of whittle down everybody else, and then you can all deal with the Sven together. They have plenty of lockdown for that. You just need to make sure that you're killing the right heroes first.
I'm not entirely certain why you were farming there. Nobody was on the map. You had no wards around either. That was a bit of a hasty play. You're not playing Void Spirit anymore. Magnus does not have that kind of escape.
He majored in math, not geography, okay? Just give him a break.
Universe is gonna try to find Hestate. I'm gonna see. Alright, so the break does not break Bulwark anymore because it's an active now. I mean, it does make sense, but sometimes these things are inconsistent, so. Bulwark does not get broken whatsoever now that it's, even if it's quote-unquote a pat. You will always have Bulwark on him.
Okay.
I was looking for that the whole game. I was questioning that because I was thinking they change these things and sometimes they don't.
What are you talking about? Valve never makes mistakes.
It's not a mistake, it's a feature.
Yes.
Now, Sven has the Echo Saber ready. He's going for the BKB straight up. He's farming quite well, but he's not beating the Sven, of course. as the Hawk continues to farm. He acquires the Fusel Blade, but we haven't seen him try to use it yet. I think he's a bit afraid of duking it out with his Sven right now.
Yeah, it's also 15 minutes timing, so farming Ancients, trying to get those neutral items as quickly as possible. I really think that this is something that we're going to see more and more prioritized by pro teams, which is like, how quickly can you get the neutral items so you can spread them out to your team? And it's like, all of a sudden, everybody in your team gets like 2,000 extra net worth when you take a fight.
True. When we talk about the net worth, right? Clear out for people. The quote-unquote net worth that the items would provide if they...
Yes.
Not literal. We are aware of that. Right?
Good call.
But yes, you're totally right. That's why... But it's interesting because I've seen a lot of pro players nowadays like skipping, for example, Universe. He's gonna die. But there's an Iron 3 available. Oh, maybe not. What an impale though. He still has Curse Crown on top of that, but that was still a really exciting impale. Tanner's coming in. He has the RP, gonna save Universe. Look at Tanner come by. You are not killing my cockroach. As Tanner continues, Zitrax has been safe for the false promise. There's the freezing field we talked about earlier. There's no skewer to put him back in it. Suzuya though is trying to it immediately. Tanner's taking a lot, but he's eventually going to be brought down by the Sven. Income has to enjoy it. When his team fight's becoming harder and harder for NP to fight, Ellis finally joins in. There's Alaman and Zirax. Godfrey about to expire. They have a duel, and they're going to use it the last second to get extra damage. They're going to manage to do so. The cleave is not going to stun him, but they don't need that. They're going to get the kill, no problem. NIP managed to turn this team fight around quite nicely, honestly.
Yeah, they brought more heroes to the fight, and Hestajo had gone on Lelis in the top lane while that fight was just starting, and he used Arena of Blood, missed the spear, didn't get the kill on Lelis, and then had to come to the fight without any abilities, pretty much.
Oh, that's why Hesta didn't do anything when the fight started. I can see. It's a shovel bounty. Okay, well, that's really well played by Lelis. Stand-up performer both these games, to be honest.
Definitely.
It's a good rotation by him as well. I think Tanner going ham there was exactly what they needed. Sometimes you need that faith in the play that you think, you can do this. It's slightly risky because you don't know where the Singularity is, but it works out and you get a lot from it.
He just wanted to test his might, his metal against the Sven. He's like, I have a cleave, you have a cleave. Get on, buddy.
True. Actually, how much is the... So Empower Cleave is 80%. 90% cleave on... Slightly better cleave. But in a 1v1, that does not matter.
It's true.
His tankiness is also very important. Kept going, and you had a Sven attacking him, you had a Void Spirit attacking him. And the issue with Void Spirit, even though he went for the Crystalist build, is that he really relies on the spells to deal damage. So once your first burst is done, that's it. Void Spirit has to wait for the second burst to be effective again.
Yeah, and speaking of tankiness, Lelis is almost done with a pipe, so it's going to get harder and harder to take down the entire lineup of NIP. It's going to be very much on Sven's shoulders to do most of the damage.
That's true. That pipe is really going to help them out, actually. I love the build on Lelis, full aura, right? You don't need a blink dagger this game. You're playing quite effectively with your positioning. You're going to rely on Nyx to be your initiator-ish.
And he has Empower too. Yeah. Lelis is very strong. Almost, yeah, it's only 1,500 behind the Sven.
His role this game is not so much about amassing the dual damage, right? It's much more about getting the utility auras, being a tanky hero, and providing that pinpoint exact duel.
Yep, as well as the save. I mean, the way that NIP's lineup is coming together, they have kind of nice counter initiation stacking. They have a lot of spread damage. They have all the ability to delay these team fights and make it easy for Dahak to just kind of chip people down.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, exactly. And essentially what NIP has to do, the big real thing is control Zidrax, and once you got that, the lineup's done, because we have seen the lack of impact of the rest of their core. Nyx, as you mentioned multiple times, has been a standout performer here. It is a universe hero. He used to play with the Alpha as well, so it's not surprising. I think he's
providing lots of vision. He's scouting out these areas where he has wards. Even if he does walk up and die occasionally, it gives his team so much information that's very easy for them to play around.
Yep, that goes back to the sentry we were talking about earlier.
Lelis,
classic taunting. Every time I see a Brazilian player do this, I remember how HFNK told people that he practiced taunting, throwing your items and quite not. And that's what I love about that region. It's fantastic. Oh, Zuya, not the best positioning. Meteor Hammer, stop him. There's a duel. Meteor Hammer might get stopped, but it doesn't really matter because the duel will guarantee the skill. There we go. Dual damage as well. Spike Carper stopping Zitrex and Hesta Joy. Zuya's gone. It's the only kill they get. They might want to go for more though. That's not the best Ether Remnant. As the Hawk realizes he can just continue forward, and they kill the Dark Willow.
Yeah, there's nothing to really
They go
stop
Hesta
them.
as well. Yeah, exactly. The Hawk just chases after him. Run, Hesta. Okay, see if he can make it. They even got an X-Mark to spot against Excalibur. He's the Aether Remnant from before. But now, if they're turning this around, since the RP is still available, and the Sven is up against 3, he can still deal a fair amount of damage, but he's going to be brought down. NIP a bit too tanky for you to just turn around like that against them.
Yeah.
What a play by the Knicks, by the way.
And that was the 10-second BKB of the Sven, just getting chopped down by 3 heroes at the same time. Very long, drawn-out fight by Singularity. Kind of an awkward engagement. They got the Oracle picked off right away. I gotta say that Hesta Joe has been missing a lot of skills this game, and that Arena of Blood was fairly questionable in terms of his placement.
I agree. Oracle caught again with that duel. There. You gotta stop missing skills. Oracle can still go down though here. Use the false promise to save himself. It's just gonna be the PL illusions fighting him. He's gonna be a bit of damage now. It should be enough to heal, right? Oh, those PL illusions hurting a lot. And okay, I guess the UI is bugged.
Radiant's top tower.
That means damage, right? He's gonna survive that.
It's right on the edge.
No, but like if you heal a bit, right, then you don't get the fire means that you're gonna get dealt a bit of damage, no? No matter what.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah.
I thought that's how it worked.
It's the Oracle. I don't understand Oracle skills. I'm gonna be honest. Like I know that one of them roots. I know that one of them disarms and stops magic damage. And I know that his ultimate gives you a dispel. But other than that, don't ask me any questions about the hero.
All right, it was just a UI related question. Yes, but okay. I see. Is complicated here. Why would you ever play them in pubs? NIP, though, have been playing a really solid game in this, and I just want to remark again what Universe did in the last play. I think was much using that Aether that got left behind to get the stun extra on a Void Spirit who was over here.
Definitely
was quite the play. Universe has been canceling this Void.
You mentioned that in the draft that was something that the Void Spirit needed to be watching out for. Like if you miss the Aether Remnant in a fight, for example, it's all of a sudden just like a mine waiting to blow up on you.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the difference. I think most of the zone out spells that you find, right, are, I mean, Jakiro aside, you have like a lot of these zone out, like maybe Smoke Screen or Night Stalker's Crippling Fear, but they don't deal damage, and Nyx can't take advantage of them. Aether is quite particular in that sense. You really can't use it as a zone out. He really changes the way you have to play the hero. Fantastic, by the way. Yeah, I think this pick was great place, and I'm surprised that Singularity really let it pass in the back.
Yeah, it's quickly becoming a hero of the qualifiers in a really big way. Here's Spike Carapace. Maybe. He's gonna potentially try and solo DNZ.
Oh, he can, though. Here, Hammer. How's the talent? I love that play. Spike Carapace straight into the Bramble Maze, and the Willow was forced to Yule Scepter just to prevent herself from getting hurt.
Don't mind me. Just a week, baby.
Just some memes.
I do love her voice, the memes aside. Like, I'm not doing the biggest oversight, or I think it's wonderful.
Okay. No judgment.
I just love as well when Nyx is playing and trying to get a solo kill nowadays, right? Because the Dagon Nyx that's long gone, thank God. And just when you lack that little bit extra damage, you use Spike Carapace and immediately try to run at whatever will hurt you. Like, guys, please, I just need a stun.
It's pretty clowny, for sure.
I love it. He's a very clowny hero. This is a very cute
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Cute bug, huh? Yeah. Well, I mean, we already knew that you had some weird tastes, so it's okay.
Dark Willow and Nyx, that's what does it for me. Taking the Dark Willow Courier now. That's a lot of gold, by the way. 500 gold total for your team. Wow.
Delicious.
It's a little boost. Yeah, delicious indeed. What do you find here? I mean, this smoke was a bit of blind smoke, right? So chance of you finding people here was a bit different.
Yeah, it was more so just kind of a warning smoke. They wanted to take over the jungle, give them an opportunity to play towards this tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, which they should be easily able to claim. They get the outposts. and just more map control going the way of NIP, which allowing them to extend their lead. Despite the kills being extremely even, we have an 8k gold lead just because NIP has been able to force Singularity to play in a smaller area of the map.
Yep. That is true. They have been forced as well, not only to play a smaller area, but also to kind of group together, right? Which is much more efficient for your farming patterns.
Yep. By the way, just wanted to quickly check on the neutral items. We got a Titan Sliver on Phantom Lancer, Imp Claw on Lilith. That will get more and more valuable as he builds up the dual damage. Nyx Assassin has an Essence Ring just to be annoying and tanky. Vampire Fang still on the Magnus. Crystal Maiden has a Quickening Charm. On the other side,
that is good.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle
The other side,
tower is
we've
under
got
attack.
the Greater Fairy Fire on the Sven as they smoke up here on the high ground.
They're very far over. I guess you just need that.
Yeah, he's not feeling like he's the strongest hero in the game, and so that burst healing can be using Sven as a bait, I guess. Seems like maybe that would be better for Mars, but uh-oh, smoke pops.
Yeah, that smoke pop wasn't the illusion. Because it popped later on the Oracle, so it seemed like it was duration, but not
Awkward
right. They kept
fight.
the Willow. Yeah, this is a very awkward fight. As the Joy to divide this though, he does manage to do so though. Heste, this play is going to be quite successful as they manage to at least give some space to the rest of Singularity. But in the end, Heste's just going to have to sacrifice himself for this. Everything in the book for him. The backlines, Charm takes after Dark Willow, constant Aether Remnants just to annoy Levis.
Sven's like,
And at
I'm
least
out.
the 2 cores will make it alive. But they did commit God's Strength. That was odd. They divided the team fight there, almost defensively.
Yeah, that was, I mean,
We're gonna find DNC here.
they were definitely not expecting to pop the smoke down on the low ground there. It was kind of an awkward position. Kind of funny that Zitrax, he popped God's Strength, hit Tanner a few times, and then just ran away without popping BKB. Left his team to die as a result.
It was just a very awkward engagement because also I'm not really sure. I wish I could watch the replay. I'm not really sure what happened with that smoke, right? Because the illusions didn't dispel it. But it seemed like half the team just lost the smoke.
There was a
Immediately, which
Nyx
clearly-
and PPD on the
It was a
low ground.
Nyx.
Yeah.
Right. The Nyx was just barely in range to dispel it. Right. Okay, that makes sense. And then even though they had high ground advantage, they didn't have the surprise factor. They really tried to do the wraparound, which was a good idea. But unfortunately, it didn't work out.
Yeah, ultimately used their big combo defensively. The Terrorize and Arena of Blood were both just kind of thrown out to try and salvage what ended a broken engagement.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, it was the arena blood as well. By Heste, even though I think it was a good arena in that case, it did lose your high ground advantage that you kind of had, and it didn't seem like the high ground really mattered at all for Singularity, honestly. And IP just went ham and just ran straight at them.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's what a 10k gold lead will do for you.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah. Thank you. Right, we don't have Ags on Sven yet, no Superman yet in this game. Went for BKB, Assault Caress, thinking he kind of lacks the damage.
Got a Rapier queued up. I like it. This is a pretty dire moment, I feel like. Definitely the Daedalus, the Ags, then the Rapier.
Yeah, you need the Ags first though. And I think this is a pipe dream. Thinking that you can farm all these items. Yeah, there we go. It's like, thinking you can farm all these items, honestly, this game is very hopeful from Sig. That's gonna take a while, especially when you're being choked like this.
Yeah, but that's kind of your only option. Your Sven needs to get absolutely massive. You need to buy time. BKB on Excalibur, so you have some more defensive capabilities. Going for a Hex next. I guess just to help catch the PL. But again, it does feel like they're really lacking damage. I love the itemization on NFP. All of the auras on Legion Commander. He's even going for a Solar Crest now. Just pure defense on this Legion.
Who cannot maintain.
That's Universe Dawn, which is a really important kill actually, because Universe this whole time had been kind of the obstacle between Singularity's initiate. Even in the Mars arena, he actually got a Spike Carpus there, which I'm not entirely sure how he got it. He managed to stop the Mars, so he's been a real pain. But if you can kill Nyx like this constantly, the issue is he's always going to Spike Carpus, right? So this is not something that happens often.
Yeah, I think Universe is probably okay with it. They do have a gem in Dark Willow, so feeling a little bit more confident to leave their base. And at this point, I think Singularity is happy to just kind of get a kill, push them off the side of the map, and then just go back to farming, rinse and repeat, hopefully, as long as you can waste the Aegis timer. I would expect NIP to potentially force the issue here, especially as they find the Oracle.
Has been killed.
They're gonna manage to escape Dark Willow, but Oracle's still gonna be down there.
He's got such a low death timer. Feels a little
I mean,
bit
yeah,
bad.
he hasn't. This is you're actually supposed to play the game. You're losing by this much. Don't farm. Don't get experience. So that way you don't die for too long. It's next level play.
600 IQ.
Is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's
Let's see if they can find the towers here. Do you think there's going to be a buyback from the Void Spirit? I think you're going to have to force it here if you don't want to lose the racks. Well, like, you lose 2 sets if you don't buy back here. I don't think they're going to stop at 1.
Alright, well, I suppose he will just not buy back then, because if he buys back now, it's like, why didn't you buy back
You
earlier?
don't have it next game.
tower is under attack.
You have repair kit, and I hate this item. It's not even stupid. Not as broken as it used to be.
What's the initiation here? If you're Singularity, you have to get on top of...
Dire's top
Who do you even kill? I guess probably the best target would be the Magnus, but damn, that's a 3200 HP Magnus.
Yeah, you know, the Magnus is not an easy target either, to be honest, and you always have to press the attack to dispel. I've seen multiple times. Look, they're even preserving the press the attack, acknowledging its importance. Yeah, goodbye, repair kit. Get lost.
Yeah, this is almost unfightable for Singularity. NIP just, they're too tanky, they have the save, their position is very
Oh,
good.
Abyssal. Surprise Abyssal there. They have to use the false promise. The indicator works, and sometimes it doesn't, and it's driving me up the wall. NIP, try to take a melee rack, Zid racks the target, not quite. It seems like they have the empower some push a lot. Here's Void Spirit back, so they didn't take 2 racks in that time. But Excalibur just died right again. Excalibur, where are you going, Excalibur? He's going in, yes, but he's been stopped by the Basher. And Excalibur is out of Astral Steps, they go in cool, and they should be able to finish him off here. Terrorize comes a bit too late, the duels are able to finish him off just barely. Yes, gets the kill on Excalibur. Now there's the buyback. So he was saving it for this moment. Tanner's an RP, doesn't use it, doubts about it. Thinking about Zitrex, use the BKB instead. They have the RP, at least for Zitrex. They do manage to kill the Lelis, at least. Here's Zitrex against the world, and Zitrex is lasting a fair amount of time. He might be killed the Hawk, but no! The Crystal Nova cancels him! PPD with the kill secured. Ensuring that Sven cannot get the kill into his own carry. They do lose the Nyx in the process, but a nice skewer to save him. Yeah, Astral Step does finish off Universe regardless.
Starting to hold.
Fighting against Zitrex. Trying to the end. Excalibur's out of mana, so they're going to chase after him and get the kill. That's really important. That's a dive back from Excalibur. And SNG, what do you have left to fight? You've thrown everything you could at the enemy. You really only have a Bedlam. You're going to have to lose these racks. No, or the Dark Willow barely too.
I suppose they'll avoid
And the
straight
racks.
up losing the game, but what a costly
has fallen.
sort of hold.
Bet.
Yeah, definitely. NIP just looking really, really strong. Legion Commander did go down, despite all the defensive items that Lelis does have, but the Hawk fighting on the front line with the Aegis. I mean, PL with Aegis is one of the most difficult heroes to deal with. And Tanner, he's kind of just doing a better Sven impression than Sven is playing.
The Cleave Wars, Tanner is winning. In fact, in just like a level, really, because he almost has it, he's going to have a talent which actually allows him to cleave more than Sven. And then Tanner will be the real Sven. What is it, the Chad Sven versus the Chad Magnus or the Virgin Sven? That's it. There we go. That's
Exactly. I don't think I've ever heard those 2 words used in combination to describe Sven, but in this game, it's very relevant.
Nah, man, he just stays at home all day, plays games. These are all fake muscles. This is a real beast.
He's like
Magnus.
SpongeBob with the blow-up arms.
Exactly, literally, yes. Whereas Tanner spends his day at the gym, he has 2 leg days because he literally has 4 legs, or 2 sets of legs. Quite complicated.
This'll come in.
Yeah, he majored in
Let's take
gym
the
too.
tier 2. yeah, 2 gyms, exactly. So that's tier 2 gone. And now as NIP, do you just wait the Roshan out, or... I think it's the play, right? You play safe, there's no need to do that.
They will collect bounties, you know. It's always good to play, keep your fundamentals sharp, even if you're super far ahead. Make sure you're collecting the bounties, make sure you check the power runes, make sure you're still buying wards, controlling the right parts of the map.
It's true. I don't find that NIP usually lacks these things. I think when you have experienced captain like PPD, then you usually have a pretty solid. These fundamentals actually the hardest thing to keep constant.
It's very easy to get a little bit ahead of yourself, and you can see them just corralling Singularity into their base. Singularity recognizing, you know, this is their only chance to go to the minor. Really, they need to just continue to fight it out. They need a combo. What is the combo though? Just hope that NIP oversteps, I suppose.
I don't know, here's the thing though, you have Mars, which is your team fight, but Mars is not really a team fight from behind. He's not the team fight that wins you the game all of a sudden, like Magnus does. Oh no, Zidrax can't even beat the illusions. Are you serious? Because first use the Master Madness, and these illusions are just multiplying. Sven is just a poor Australian, and these rabid illusions making it impossible for his wildlife to exist.
Is that a fire joke?
That's the joke. No, that was a... What? No, not at all.
Australian fires?
No, that was about the overpopulation. Anyway, because they're not a real species in Australia, so they overpopulated, took over the land, killed a bunch of species. They're terrible.
I see you have geography. Thank you.
Yes, I did indeed. At high school as well. Killed Hesta Joy here. He just overstepped his boundaries and they punished him again. Spike Carpus, and they got him. He has buyback though, and this is the last strikes they're defending. This is literally the last stand. If there's ever a time to play well, it's this right now. Singularity, you gotta do this. Oh no, Hested, right into that stun. How do you like that, Hested? There's no way you're surviving this. I don't care what the symbol says. Hested is gonna go down here. The RP even to catch Excalibur and DNC, and the GG is forced. Honestly, I like Singularity these qualifiers. I think they play really well, but NIP just seems to be a step above them.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Singularity. This is actually probably their weakest series of qualifiers. And you know that'll happen if you are playing well but still losing. It is mentally taxing. So I'm not too surprised. NIP. I definitely think they're looking a lot better than most people expected. And